Hello there, everybody. I'm Shelby, and this
And I'm
is.
Tim.
Welcome to the Tech Support Podcast, Episode 3.
I hope everyone's doing well.
Yes, I hope so too. Now, for a quick word from our sponsor. Tim, take it away.
Gift Orly. You can find it at the link in the description below. It takes you directly there. They offer great gifts. At this point, it's probably a little late to order something for Christmas, but hey, if you get some money for someone, great place to go shopping for great gifts or get great gift ideas. Not just for Christmas, but for any event, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever you can dream of. Shop at Gift Orly today and use the discount code in the description along with the link to Gift Orly.
Yes. Thank you, Gift Orly, for sponsoring this podcast.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Because I just kind of went, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I did it last time, so it was only right that you did it this time.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like more the middle. The sponsor was gonna be in the middle, get people hooked in with some tech news first, and then be like, "Here's our sponsor."
Nah, because we have too much big news for this
We do
podcast.
have a lot of big news, so it's probably best to get that sponsorship out of the way. No offense, Gift Orly, we're here for you. But we do have a lot of big news to go through this week,
Yes.
or these last couple of weeks.
There's been a lot.
I'm always amazed by just from podcast to podcast, and even just like the a few days after a podcast, how much more news there is
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't capture because it happened just a couple of days after we do this podcast.
Yep.
It's insane how much tech news is just flooding through right now.
It is that time of year.
And yeah, it's that time of year, but as I look back and think, it really kind of happens throughout the entire year.
Maybe, just maybe, we need to find a better day for this podcast. So that
Yeah,
it's right after
maybe
all the big
capture
news.
everything. Although it's so hard to do because, with maybe the exception of Saturday and Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
there's news every day.
Yeah. Weekends are usually pretty tame, except for
Mhm.
when it comes
Unless
to
there's
AMD.
like yeah, AMD.
Intel doesn't typically.
Even
release-
hacking, I'd say, is more mild on the weekends.
Because
The hackers want to spend time with family. Everybody's got to spend time with family.
spend time with family. Stop hacking computers
Yeah.
for 48 hours. Decides they can't wait 48 hours.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking this week. I was at the office and just kind of thinking, like, because I play a very heavy part in the security of our company, and I was just thinking, like, it'd be bad if I was on the other side. Like, I could do some serious damage because I mean, you're just looking at it, and it's like, I could do this, and like probably get some money, like a lot of
Mhm.
money, and I mean that just like goes to show like they're using all this stuff to try to do it now, like AI. Um,
Yeah, they're utilizing
the bad actors are, but like it's
they're utilizing
insane.
ChatGPT to write viruses for them now,
Yeah.
which is crazy. that they
And by
figured out how to
default,
get
it
around
says no, but I saw a video that, I mean, it was a video from Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
You play around with it for like 5-10 minutes, and it complies.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of the ways I've seen them is seeing them get around the don't do it. Like, I'm not going to write this for you. Is that they say, how would you write?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then whatever.
And there are quote unquote safeguards in place to prevent that. So you can't just say it initially, but if you ask it a couple times and then like, I'm worried that this such and such is from a bad guy, and then it's like, if you were a bad guy, how would you write this? You can essentially get it to write it, and then if you have a connection to like, there's programs out there. There's bad AI programs that can do this all automatically, or you can have something connected to you like ChatGPT account, and it just sends it to your list or whatever. It's and it's essentially automated.
Yeah, and it's bad.
Yeah, there was a test done where they had an AI bot write and send out. Send out. They didn't actually send it maliciously, but they did it as a test to send out these phishing emails. And then they had and then they compared it to a group of actual people writing these phishing emails, and the people were still a little more. It was better written and more convincing, but it took so much longer.
Yeah.
So if you get just one person in one company with the AI one, you're in a matter of seconds of writing it compared to an hour of writing it and sending it out. So it's bad. We should probably go ahead and jump in here, which it goes along the route of security.
Yep.
If you want to take this one away.
Yeah. So Google has fixed yet another 0-day flaw in Chrome. The 7th one thus far.
And with that, there's been major security patches from Mozilla, so kind of a competitive Google Chrome, but Microsoft, Atlassian, Cisco, and many more. They basically, it's gotten to the point where they basically have to patch their systems constantly because of this stuff.
Yeah, because people are constantly finding ways to break
There's
shit.
constant loopholes.
So, going into our topic, Google ended November with a bang after issuing 7 security fixes for Chrome, including an emergency patch for an issue already being used in real-life attacks, tracked as CVE 2023-6345. Where do they come up with these names?
I'm sure there's some database somewhere where it just
generates
basically the next number in the list.
The already exploited flaw is an integer overflow issue in Skia, an open source 2D graphics library. Google is aware that an exploit for CVE 2023-6345 exists in the wild. The browser maker said in an advisory, little is known about the fix at the time of writing of this article that we're going off of, which is on Wired. Maybe we should throw the links to all these articles in the description so you all can check them out if you want.
And they'll be in order in the description.
Yep.
One constant thing I'm seeing throughout the article, though. So in the article, it lists out, and we won't go over each one, but it lists out all the companies that had a basically rush to get these patched.
It looks like it's all been the same thing too, which is
Yeah, so it's all very, very, very similar.
the 2D
Um,
edit, the 2D render
yeah,
thing.
and they basically all have a
Similar.
CVSS score of like 7 or higher.
Yeah. Google
Like
Chrome's is 8.8. Third highest severity.
Cisco is 9.9,
What?
and this is, if you don't know, it's on a scale of 10. 10 being it's bad.
How?
So Cisco, like I was just looking through, like Cisco, they didn't have the most issues that fixes were released for. They had 27 issues that they released fixes for, but one of them was rated 9.9.
Holy crap.
And like Cisco is like
They're all about security.
they're all about security. They're kind of who you think of when you talk about security. And for it to be a 9.9, and then
I'm not seeing the 9.9. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Never mind.
and then they had another 8.6, which is still high, but
Yeah.
the 9.9 is concerning.
Yeah. If Cisco rates it a 9.9,
It's serious. Like,
yeah, because well, Google, Apple, Mozilla, Firefox, and
do you just call it Mozilla?
maybe,
Mozilla, right?
I've always called it Mozilla
I
Firefox.
think it's Mozilla. Now I'm having like a crisis here. I thought it was Mozilla. Maybe it is pronounced Mozilla. I don't know.
It's spelled Mozilla, but I've always just said Missoula.
I don't know. Vote in chat.
Yeah. Vote in chat. See what happens. But given the fact that their scores have been, and these CVSS scores, are they rated by an outside entity, or are they internally assigned?
I believe it is I don't believe they're like gone and like hand rated. But there is a standard like rating system.
Well, one of the things I worry about, because I know Google, I know how Mozilla operates, I know how Apple operates. I don't feel that those scores are accurate.
Yeah, a lot of companies tend to downplay it.
Mm-hmm. Microsoft's might be accurate, but that's hard
Yeah.
to say.
Microsoft might be
Which-
accurate.
Actually, I would say theirs is accurate because their CVSS score is 9.8.
Yeah, so that's definitely higher.
They had a 7.8 and a 9.8
Yeah.
in November.
So I'd say yeah,
So
there's probably
Microsoft and Cisco are rating these correct.
Microsoft's been doing a huge focus on security though too.
It is Microsoft.
Yeah,
They do hold the monopoly when it comes to OSs.
they do. They've been pushing a lot of security lately
desktop,
though.
Mobile.
Mobile. For what? Oh, I was thinking like phones. Like they kind of stopped that.
Okay. Here's the funny thing. When we go on break, I'll come back with it after break.
You used to have one?
I still have a Windows phone.
No way.
Yeah. And
That's
it still
amazing.
works.
So that's amazing.
It looks
That's-
like crap and it feels
yeah.
like crap, but it still works.
You know, I think Windows, honestly though, and this may be a controversial subject, I think they were onto something.
They were onto something.
They just didn't
definitely.
stick it out.
On top of, they were ahead of their time when they released it.
They were.
Because at that point, smartphones weren't really as common.
Yeah, they got in the game
Way too early.
very early. I think they should have done what Apple did and released it like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they released it in a similar way to the first iPhone, I think they would have been in a much better position.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's very possible if they had, we would not be a Apple versus
Android,
Google
yeah.
world. We would be an
Um,
Apple versus Microsoft world.
I think Google would still be in there though.
Oh yeah, Android is amazing for ARM processors,
Yeah.
which
Uh,
Windows OS wasn't really made for ARM.
right.
So
I think where Microsoft also kind of dropped the ball is they kind of a lot of times try to convert their Windows operating system to mobile, where they should have made basically done a whole new one from scratch.
It's like when they did 8. 8 was originally written for mobile,
Yes,
and then they ported it to desktop and made the
Mhm.
world's worst operating system.
I know this one's controversial, but I didn't think it was that bad.
It was bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I had a laptop at school.
I know it crashed some, but overall, at the time I liked it. I did not think it was bad.
Crashed some. That's an understatement.
Okay, yes.
It crashed it crashed no matter what you tried to do on it.
I definitely did like 10 a lot better, and then
10 was a hell of a lot worse.
then 11 I love.
I miss 7.
Yeah,
I miss 7. Just simply because it was lightweight.
that's true. 7 was a staple. Same with XP. They were both staples.
DOS was a staple too.
I mean, I guess you
Which
could go
XP is built
95.
on DOS. So
Yeah, I mean,
where
they all have a little bit of DOS in them.
a lot of the newer ones are built on NE and not DOS.
Really, I thought they were still built on DOS.
Nope. They have backwards compatibility, quote unquote.
Right.
But they're
So
built on a completely different.
I was at a tech event this week, and someone on the Windows topic was trying to tell me that they were expiring or stopping Windows 10 next year.
Not next year.
It's 2025.
Yep. June of 2025.
They pushed it back. It's October now.
Oh, it's October now?
I looked it up because I was like,
Oh,
I'm
11
still stuck
is-
on that. Like,
11
I
is
was-
not ready yet.
yeah. Well, I was stuck on that because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 25, but this guy who is apparently in the laptop business,
24 might be
was saying
the
it was
last
24.
year for new devices being sold with it.
Yeah, I believe that's the last year for new devices being sold with it. That may be what he was talking about actually. But we were talking about support for Windows 10. Anyway, we're talking more about Windows later.
Yes, when we get back to that topic.
Yeah, we have a couple more topics about Windows, I believe, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. But I think,
So-
9.9 score is,
Oh yeah, that's bad.
yeah, and I trust Cisco on their ratings.
Oh yeah. They are extremely uptight about security. Like to the point
It
of
is their kind of thing.
it's to the point where working with their equipment is hard.
Really? I love their equipment.
I'm not used to their equipment. I'm used to like what's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Well, you're thinking of that. I will say that it has taken me about 3 years of just working with their equipment to kind of get the grasp of it, and even then, it's still there's just so much you can do. It's heavily customizable on the security that you want. So yes, a lot of it with working with the equipment can be headache.
Ubiquity.
Oh yeah, they're another good one.
They're very good.
They were not on this list though.
No, they were not. Although Ubiquity doesn't use the 2D library.
Oh,
All their stuff is all in-house programmed.
I can see that from them. Yeah. Um,
And because everything is in-house made and doesn't use external libraries, oh my god, the user experience is amazing.
yeah, the user experience on those does tend to be a bit better. Um, but I still really like Cisco.
Security-wise,
They're
Cisco's
both,
the best.
yeah, security wise they're the best. But I think overall they're both. Well, I mean, even like
Ubiquiti is still
they've come
extremely
out with some
secure.
stuff lately that is, I'd say it's competitive to Cisco.
Oh, yeah.
With
Like their dedicated firewall.
yeah.
Oh my god, that firewall is a beast.
hmm And I
Thank
mean,
you, LTT.
yeah, you can get some of that same stuff from Cisco, but it's really a Mac versus Microsoft or a iOS versus
Android.
Android thing now
Yeah.
with them, which is I think great to see. More than one
Mhm.
option in the marketplace, really.
And one of the things that I really like about Ubiquiti is that their stuff is the pinnacle for in-house integration.
hmm That's true.
It is the absolute best for
Yeah.
in-home automation.
Well,
And
you can do it with Cisco, but it takes a bit more work.
A bit?
Okay, a lot more. If you don't have all Cisco stuff, it takes work. I mean, if you have all Cisco stuff, it makes it super simple and easy. But if you don't, it
If it's mixed systems, that you better have like 3 weeks of time to work on it.
3 weeks of time in a master's degree.
Yep. And okay, I might be shilling a little bit for Ubiquiti because I do love their stuff. Unfortunately, I'm too cheap to have any of it in my house, but we use Ubiquiti at work.
Yeah, we
And
use Cisco.
I actually had to configure all of our Ubiquiti equipment.
I had to figure out Cisco equipment.
Good job. You're still here.
Hey, I'm not bald yet. It looks like Cisco or Ubiquiti did number to you.
No, that would be my horrible, horrible genetics. I have my dad's hairline.
Yeah, genetics. I got lucky there.
But, so going back to it though, one of the really nice things is that, so our office uses several different architectures and several different systems. And literally, with most of them, it was a single click in Ubiquiti to adopt it.
Yeah.
There was only one where I actually had to like do any legwork to adopt it. And I'm not listing any of them because security reasons.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that just saying what systems I was adopting could cause issues since I work in healthcare.
The nice thing about us is that, so I kind of, with our company, I cover multiple branches. It's all under one company, but we have like several different locations, most of which I've set up since, actually all of them, because they've all moved or been remodeled since I've been there now. So I've set up each of the locations,
So
upgraded equipment and stuff.
You've had a lot of work with.
I've had a lot of work and experience with Cisco, and it would be different, I think, if each like office required like a completely different configuration. But they all
Same config.
it's all none of them are franchised or anything. They're all one company, just different locations. So it's the same config for each one, and then it just gets down to the amount of devices you need, or like Wi-Fi access point, for example. You need to cover however large the space is. Yeah, so that's nice from what we done. it can get definitely more challenging though if it's different configurations for each.
Oh,
And if you want it all under one system but different configurations is where it can
Really
you gotta definitely
taxing.
spend more time. I remember like the first configuration I did of them when we first started doing kind of upgrading because we were on Ubiquity for a while, but then we kind of got a deal and switched to Cisco. So part of its company started doing better, made more money. Cisco at the time just it was it ended up being more expensive. We didn't really see the need to shell out the money beforehand. Um,
But then
because
it started growing. You started
it
seeing
started growing. We needed more enhanced security. Um, so with all of that, I don't remember really where I was going with this. Um, but yeah, everything's kind of connected in one system is really nice. Um,
So moving on to our
Yeah.
last thing for this topic, um, there is another one. Atlassian also had a similar, but they did not give a rating for how bad the security breaches were that they were having. But the very last one in the whole group, SAP, Enterprise Software Giant SAP, has released its November Security Patch Day, fixing 3 new flaws tracked as CVE 2023 31,403. They've obviously had a lot of problems.
yeah.
Their most recent score was rated as a 9.6,
Another high one.
which they're an enterprise software
Mhm.
giant, so I would assume that they need to be
Yeah.
fairly accurate with their scores.
Yeah.
because
Just
Enterprise,
regulation.
yeah,
A lot of regulation there. So I do wonder if the others that have lower scores are fudging the numbers a little bit.
a little bit, a lot.
It's hard to say for sure.
It is hard to say for sure without
It's pure speculation.
just given a lot of
But
the
the-
scores that we're seeing with like
Mhm.
Microsoft, Cisco, SAP,
Mhm.
and
I mean, just based on the track history from some of these other companies, though,
yeah,
it's hard to say that they're maybe not.
it's like it's very possible that Google and Apple might be covering up a loss of millions of people's worth of data
Yeah, it's
just to get out of having to pay for like
mhm,
identity protection or
right.
something like that.
I don't know. It's tough to say because I know Google is putting a heavy focus on security as well lately, as of recently. Um,
They started putting a heavier focus towards the beginning of this month,
yeah,
right after
Um,
the security issues that they were having last year.
yeah, probably part of this. It's all stuff that Google is saying though, so it's hard to say.
Yeah,
We'll get into it more later, but it's hard to say how accurate or true, I guess it is.
yeah.
Because with what they're doing, it just seems like it would be a major financial loss for them.
Especially since they just recently released the Pixel 3 and all that.
Yeah. We'll get into more of that later, though. We should probably get a move on here to the next topic.
We spent 40 minutes on one topic.
Yeah.
Which honestly, that's fine because
Right.
we do need to fill 3 hours.
Yeah. But that we have several topics, several big topics. So Google pushes for an antitrust action against Microsoft in the UK cloud market. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Try saying that 3 times fast.
No.
I tried. I tried to get you to. UK cloud market. UK cloud market. UK cloud market. Kind of got it. I don't know if I can do a fourth though.
sound like you said something very bad there.
Kind of just all merged together. Bad word then sit there. I don't know what that word was, but okay. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to start this topic real quick?
You go ahead because I don't have an account.
I made an account before we started. Do you want to use mine?
Sure. Thank you.
And while you do that, I'm gonna go grab water. You want water?
Yeah, sure. Please grab me one.
I'm sorry, camera, but I must walk in front of you. We need a better fixture for that.
Yeah. So Google called the CMA to probe Microsoft's cloud business. Microsoft licensing practices. Basically, that the licensing practices unfairly limited competition. This is all according to Google. And then the CMA is investigating the UK cloud computing market. I don't know how I feel on this, honestly. Because, like... please. They're both huge names in cloud. Both of them. Them two and Amazon. Which Amazon faced some mounting kind of security, or scrutiny, not security, around around the world over the dominance of the cloud computing industry. But to me, when it comes down to it, you have three options. You can't. I mean, technically, but you have three big options. Maybe the UK just likes Microsoft better. Do you guys use Microsoft or Google? Like email, cloud, anything like that?
Mostly Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah, we use Microsoft as well. Like it's Microsoft's a big name. And in my opinion, there could be 101 different possibilities of why Google thinks that Microsoft is somehow unfairly limiting competition. I mean,
one of those might be that Microsoft sets all their own cloud programs as
right.
defaults, which kind of is expected because
It's their device.
It's their operating system.
And Google has its own operating system. They could easily, with the money they have, improve it and make them actually more like Windows devices. I don't think it would impact the overall.
Oh, no,
and I think they would actually make more sales.
There's a number of people
Especially
that
if they,
away from Windows and
yeah,
Apple.
especially if they kind of undercut the price a bit, because they already own basically all the stuff needed to do that.
They pretty much have their own proprietary
Yeah.
processors,
Yeah.
their own motherboard fabs.
They could definitely, I think this is almost like a kind of a scapegoat to not have to do it, because it would cost a lot of money in R&D to do it. But like in the end, if you have a Windows device, it's expected that you're going to have defaults such as Edge, and then Bing, and then default to OneDrive, and Microsoft Office, and all those Microsoft programs.
Office 365.
Yeah, it's expected to default. And I don't even think there's a Gmail app for the Windows computer.
Not that I know.
So I
I've
mean,
never come across one.
either have I. So it's hard to say because this is all. It's a he said she said situation.
Mm-hmm.
Google saying this, Microsoft saying that. It's.
It would be like Microsoft taking Google to court because they basically have
Monopoly.
monopoly. My brain. They basically have a monopoly when it comes to stuff like email,
Mm-hmm.
phones, not counting Apple, because Apple's Apple.
So, like, going back to like the email, you got kind of two options there, two main options. You got Google and Microsoft for your business to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You could go through Amazon, but that's more enterprise level. You can do it smaller, but it's a lot easier to do Google or Microsoft. They just have it set up that way.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot more efficient.
It's a lot more efficient. In my opinion, Amazon in the end I think is better.
They have a lot more features.
They have a lot more features, a lot more back end development and support, which all kind of goes along with the features. But it's more set up. Long term, it may not be a bad idea though. But to manage and to use and set up, Google and Microsoft are pretty much the way to go.
Because Google, you actually don't have to have any infrastructure at all. It's all cloud based. And Microsoft, all you have to have is an Exchange server.
Yeah. And so, here's the thing with the two. Because Google's all cloud based, a lot of people go to Microsoft. I don't know about how it is in Europe. That infrastructure is very well developed here. I know it is in Europe, but I don't know to the extent.
I don't know to the extent either for over in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know though if they do primarily cloud over there or if they do dedicated hardware.
Yeah, I have not spoken
Maybe we should try to get
someone
someone
about that?
that's IT
Yeah.
over in Europe
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
to join us so we can ask these kind of questions.
That'd be interesting to know. Because like, if they don't do primarily cloud, of course Microsoft's going to win.
Yeah.
Um,
Because Google doesn't do anything other than
Yeah.
cloud.
if Google had desktop apps, that would be a huge kind of push.
Yeah.
I think they could fairly make that assumption that if Microsoft was still kind of limiting competition in a way, they could definitely make that assumption then. But Google just doesn't. I mean, for a business email account through Google, it's about the half the price of Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay $6 a month. I forget what that comes out to a year. You get a little bit of discount. Same thing with Microsoft though, but it's $12 a month. And again, I forget what it comes out to a year, because you get a bit of discount. So it's literally half the cost for Google, but you have to do everything on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You have no desktop Google anything.
Everything is online. You don't have copies of everything downloaded to your computer like you would with Microsoft.
Well, you can download it, but then you have to open it back up online.
Yeah.
Well,
it's there. It's not actually there.
So it just kind of makes sense to go with Microsoft then if you're needing to access things offline.
Yeah. Which
you can't do that with Google, really.
Microsoft's put themselves in that position where pretty much they're the go-to because information can be accessed offline.
Yeah. And I mean, because of that, it makes sense for it to be double the price. You're getting essentially double the features.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see how that plays out, though.
Yes, that it will be.
I suppose only time will kind of tell with a lot of these things. Kind of our slogan around here.
Yeah. You know what? We need to make that a thing that we can just push a button
Only time will tell.
and it
Pops up on the screen. We have to do that.
We need to have after the podcast. We do need to have a conversation
Okay.
about improving the podcast.
Yeah, we're looking at ways to bring more features to our limited viewers. But seriously though, if you are watching, thank you very much.
Yes, if you are watching, thank you for joining us.
We're not necessarily doing this. It'd be nice to be seen,
Yeah,
but also I just enjoy talking about this.
it's always fun.
It really is.
Oh, the next topic's mine because it's on Reuters too. You can't open it.
Yeah,
Maybe you should make an account while I talk about this.
probably
next topic.
should. I don't really wanna
Don't worry, it's easy.
though.
Just don't put an email you care about.
Okay, I'll use my. I almost said it on the air. That would not be good.
Yes, everybody, email Tim.
I'm going to use my my backup email. That way, because I get it on my phone, but I never check it. I think I get it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I never check it, except for like a couple things.
Okay, so our next topic is Broadcom. So, Broadcom has added Silicon AI features to its new Trident networking chip. Did you hear about this?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, so Broadcom, a very large tech company, they're very well known for the Snapdragon processors
Yep.
and so on and so forth. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Ugh. So, let me find a good place to start this. November 30th is when this article was released on Reuters. Broadcom is aiming to help move information around data centers more efficiently. Which kind of makes sense because they're everywhere in a data center.
They really are.
Pretty much every networking part has a Broadcom chip in it.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the high output Intel ones.
Yeah, like there's a kind of a few that don't, but like they're everywhere.
Broadcom is massive when it comes to chips.
Yeah.
But their new Trident networking processors are apparently going to use AI to improve the chip's efficiency. Which is just...
Well, I'm not surprised they're going that route though, because everyone is.
It makes sense. If they can make it more efficient and use less power, we could see data center power draws go down quite a bit.
Yeah, that would be good.
Especially since there's
so much.
hundreds of thousands of these chips in each data center.
Right. It's insane, honestly.
The new chip includes typical performance boosts such as reduced power consumption and more bandwidth. More network bandwidth. Which is a very nice thing. One of the most significant differences when building mass AI clusters is moving data around in them. Which, that's to be expected, because mass AI clusters go through hundreds, if not thousands, of terabytes of data in a day.
Right.
So the new chip called the chip called a Trident 5X12 can help alleviate some of the network traffic congestion. Robin Grindley, I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly there. I'm sorry if I did it. And I'm sorry if you're a she and not a he. It doesn't really give any context.
You said Robert.
Robin.
Oh, Robin.
I said Robin.
Oh, you said Robert. I was like, that?
If I said Robert, I'm sorry.
I feel like Robin is more of a...
It can be either or. I know a few guys called
you
Robin.
do. Yeah, I guess so. That's true. It's hard to say.
It's like my name, for instance. Careful.
So, I tripped. I hit my chair.
You might want to move your glass from the edge.
Yeah. And then I just... Oh, I'm a klutz.
Maybe for the next podcast we should switch chairs.
Maybe.
Because that chair tends to lean back on its own.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That's what happened.
We need to see if we can find another one.
Yeah, need to find one exactly the same color.
If we can't, then we just buy two of the same chair.
I guess we could do that, yeah.
But I don't think they make this particular chair anymore. Which is sad, but...
Those chairs are good, though, and I feel like they're podcast chairs.
They are amazing. Of course, this chair is like 10 years old, so...
Right. Maybe time for a new one anyway.
I love this chair, though.
Hey,
it's so comfortable.
I don't know how often you're supposed to replace furniture. I know mattresses are like 8 years.
Depends on the mattress.
That it does, though.
Like, my mattresses, all the mattresses in my house are 10-year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You replace them every 10 years.
They've done 10 years with a lot now. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, going back to our topic. Broadcom's core switching group Oh, okay.
Don't die on us.
Too late for that. Yeah.
Probably just spiked the microphone.
Sorry. Probably not. I have my microphone turned way down.
Yeah, but like, you just into it.
I went this way.
That's a good point. It sounded loud in my ear. I know that much.
So, Robin Grindley, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, an executive in Broadcom's core switching group, said in an interview, there are specific networked computing tasks such as AI that can only be improved by adding additional capabilities to a chip because software is too slow.
Mm-hmm.
Which software is slow? It has to go through several layers of translation.
It does, yeah. There's like 7 layers.
Just for the processor to be able to process it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got to go from the language we wrote it in, which is usually C# or Java or any of the major ones.
Yeah.
We kind of avoid Python because it's not real efficient.
It's not.
But it's got to go from that all the way down to binary for a processor.
And then if it's spitting something back out, it has to go back.
Yeah. And you're about to lose that. The microphone went stuck.
Oh my. I guess I've just been sucking in too much air.
No, I think you brushed it with your arm at one point.
Oh, maybe.
Because it's not on there real tight.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off really easy.
Feels like I would have had to pull it. I don't know.
I think you pushed it into the sleeve at the bottom. So, you see the metal ring?
Yeah.
I think you got it stuck in the metal ring slightly.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think it was pushed all the way down.
Gotcha.
Okay, going back to our article.
Distractions galore tonight.
Oh, yeah. the AI portion of the chip can be turned on after a customer builds an AI model based on traffic in their data center. So
Hmm.
it can be just
Boom.
yeah, apparently.
It's kind of crazy, honestly, though.
Which that kind of makes sense though, because a lot of enterprise networking cards are hot swappable.
Right.
You can just pull one microprocessor off of it.
Hmm.
A lot of the times they're not even soldered on; they're just in a socket.
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about like just AI in general,
Mm-hmm.
on just how much it's just come into
Come into its own.
its own. It's a household topic now, even among people who aren't techies. Um,
A lot of people are worrying about how
it's going.
AI is going to change the world.
It's going to impact a lot of jobs. It is
It's like
impacting a lot of jobs.
it's very possible in the next year or two, the job I currently have
Hmm.
could be completely taken over by an AI.
I saw a report, and I forget the exact numbers, but AI is set to erase a lot of jobs.
It's
It's going to create some,
it's
but
gonna
it's
create
it's
some,
a
but
fraction of the amount of jobs it's going to remove.
yeah.
Like my jobs, it's not going away anytime soon.
The job I'm
But
going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can find one, I won't be taken out of the field either because of AI. But the
Mhm.
current job I have, I'm very much at risk of losing it because
Mhm.
of AI.
And a lot of it is up to individual companies on how fast they adopt and stuff.
True.
Um,
The company I work for now, so I'm not going to list any names, nothing like that. The company I currently work for, they have made it abundantly clear that my entire office is just
at risk.
a cost,
Mhm.
cost of the company.
Oh yeah.
We don't we don't make them any money,
I mean that's
although all of the company's money comes through us.
yeah. It's kind of like that with a financial department or an IT department, um, but we're a little bit different.
Yeah, you're working on the stuff that replaces the people.
Yeah.
I am the people that get replaced.
We have a very we're a smaller company and we have a very people first mentality, so
Yeah,
we don't expect it to replace any people anytime soon.
I don't think my company has a people first mentality.
Yeah, it all depends on the company.
So, going back to our topic for one last thing, engineers at the company decided to add AI features roughly 2 years ago, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean they've been adding AI for
A while.
a while. It's just now it's becoming word of mouth.
Mm-hmm. The new version of the Trident is built with 5 nanometer manufacturing, which that's pretty freaking small.
It's yeah, it's good.
That's almost as small as it can be made.
Hmm.
If I'm remembering correctly, the smallest is 3 nanometer
Yeah,
because
at the current technology. You never know what might happen in the future.
if they can make quantum if they can make quantum stuff work, then probably.
Yeah,
But
I would not be surprised if some company somewhere is working on that though. Honestly,
well, we do have quantum computers already.
that's true.
But I'm meaning in the sense of
What we have currently,
for chip
or
manufacture,
chip manufacturers. Yeah,
because quantum computers are a completely different thing.
that's
They use
true.
a completely different processor type.
Yeah,
Where
yeah. I mean, it would have to be a pretty big overhaul.
our current processors, the smallest that they can get to is 3 nanometer,
Hmm.
because 3 nanometer is the size of 3 atoms.
Yeah.
One input, one output, one signal.
Mhm.
And 1 atom per is pretty freaking small.
Yeah, very, very small.
Just imagine this. Oh my god, just imagine So the old processors used gold wire
Mhm.
to go to the pins on
Right.
the chip. Like the actual package.
Yeah, I know.
I had to clarify for.
Oh. Sometimes I forget we're on a podcast.
Yeah, because we could get really deep into a topic and start talking actual lingo and forget we're on a podcast
Yeah.
for people that have no fucking clue what we're talking about.
I mean, it's a tech podcast, but it doesn't mean you have to be a techie to be on here.
No. But older chips, such as the 486, were built on, I think it was 97 nanometer processes. Yeah. So each of these transistors was about the size of the little bitty gold wires that they used to connect it to the pad.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, the transistors are so stinking small that it takes probably 300,000 of them just to be the width of that.
Yeah. It's insane. Just all technology. Like, I'm just thinking back, like, I've seen videos of, like, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs when they first started creating this stuff, and just looking at where it's come now, like,
oh yeah,
they probably never dreamed you could have something like this in your hand.
They would probably never dream that you'd have a computer that you can go,
yeah,
and it not break.
Yeah. It's insane. We should probably continue moving on though, because yeah,
that is the end of it. There is one more thing I want to throw in there real quick. The new version of the Trident is currently only being shipped to qualified customers. So we will not see it in any of our handheld devices for a good while.
Yeah, it'll be a minute.
Yeah, we won't see it until they come out with like Trident 10 or something like that.
Which is like, it's kind of standard though for a lot of things. You see a lot of things. It's kind of interesting that we're hearing about it, even, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of things you don't even hear or see until they've been out for a while.
Which, it's very possible that it's been out for a while.
That's possible too.
It's just that it's just now hitting.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Alright, our next topic is Okta says hackers stole data for all customer support users in a cyber breach.
It's just more, don't click on links you don't know, people you don't know. Verify the email address if it's unfamiliar, even if it looks like it's the right person. If it's not something you would normally get from them, don't open it.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things you can't emphasize it enough.
Don't click links from people you don't know. Don't click links from sources you don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
3 is, if a email says you've won $1,000 and you have to click a link to claim your prize, don't click the freaking link.
A lot of breaches like this occur because someone clicked a link.
Mm-hmm. Or open an
attachment.
LTT. Sorry, Linus.
Automatically downloads a file. You probably don't even know it downloads a file. It all goes back to security.
Yep.
And like, as a business, you gotta drill and train your users to. It's zero trust. And essentially what that means is you never trust, you always verify.
Yep.
So double, triple verify if you have to. It may take some extra time, but if you get hacked or there's a breach, you could be losing millions or even billions. as a company,
Yeah.
which is primarily what these attackers are after, because the money the individual people have is nothing compared to these companies.
Oh yeah. They want to exploit these companies for as much
Hmm.
money as they can get out of them.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you don't get, even if you have like great insurance and the insurance pays it, they still get money.
Yep.
Um,
And it makes them more likely to do it again.
yeah, they're the ones that are gonna do it twice. They're able to just com- they're they're able to continue funding their operation. Um, and it's not just some guy sitting in his mom's basement. They
Usually
have
it's a group of people.
they have full office buildings with HR, IT, management. It's a full business
Mm-hmm.
that they have.
They
Um,
make that much money that they can
yeah.
afford to hire black hat hackers,
Hmm.
have their own HR team,
Yeah.
pay their hackers a living salary,
Hmm.
unlike some of us.
I'd say even more than a living salary. Like,
Oh yeah, they probably get paid $400,000 or $500,000.
yeah, they make bank, and and it's not just like a bit of money. They get they
It's a
have a
lot.
full they have like comp plans, bonus structures. They have all that. They get raises. It's a legit. These business these groups have become full on businesses.
And they make their money by exploiting
Yeah,
by exploiting our data.
exploiting other businesses. Um, so when one gets shut down, it's big, but there's always 100 more that you need to go after.
Yep.
But it all it doesn't say how they were exploited, Okta
Yeah.
here.
This is
But
this is like Okta is what my company uses
yeah,
for verification.
yeah, like they're huge in
Okta
the
is used
space.
by a lot of healthcare companies because it's supposed to be the most secure option,
Hmm.
quote unquote.
Yeah, it doesn't say how they got in, but they downloaded a report containing um, data, including names and email addresses of all clients that use its customer support system, which is huge.
Hmm.
Um,
The nice thing is that
Alright.
there has not been any evidence that the information they have collected is being actively exploited,
Right.
which
But
is good.
the issue now is they have that information.
Yeah.
Even if they just have email addresses, a lot of their client base is business. Um, that they can sell these email addresses
Hmm.
and to these other bad actors who want these email addresses, who can then go and fish, sending these phishing emails to
Phishing emails,
everyone at this company.
phishing.
And if one person clicks on it, they get into this company, and
Hell,
goes on and on.
depending on the person, they might go for a whaling attack.
Yeah, or yeah, there's a number of attacks that could.
Which, for those of you watching that don't know what a whaling attack is, let me explain that real quick. That's a targeted attack towards a higher up in a company, such as CEO, CFO.
Even like it could be just an administrator too, someone on the IT team that has those rights.
Generally, though, with whaling, they go after the biggest fish they possibly can.
Yeah.
So, if they look through a thing and they see, let's say, for instance, I'm a CEO of big corporate,
Inc.
whatever.
Big Corp Inc.
Yeah, Big Corp Inc. There we go. I have 300,000 people that work below me. And our OCTA was to get compromised. And all of our information's out there. They go through and they look through all the emails that they have and they see that my name comes up and I'm the current CEO of the company, they're going to go for me and then the people that they can figure out that are directly below me. And they're going to keep doing that. And they're going to go down level by level. At the point where it's like 4 or 5 levels below the original whaling target, it becomes phishing emails.
Mhm.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, but I said IT though because like
Yeah, if they can get a hold of the infrastructure, oh
Yeah.
god.
yeah, like that is because IT. If you're a system administrator, you have access to it all.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about skipping to different levels.
They would have everything.
You're technically a CEO. Typically does not have administrator access.
Not typically, unless the CEO is also the system admin.
It depends.
Which that should never happen.
Yeah.
Your CEO should never be a system admin.
It kind of depends though too. On the side of the company, if you're like a startup,
True.
if you're a tech startup, you may be.
Maybe both.
Yeah, if you're needing to wear multiple hats. But when you get to the 300,000 or even just 50 employees, your CEO should not be the administrator.
Yeah.
But
past like 30, 35 employees,
yeah,
it becomes difficult for one person to manage everything.
So you go after the system administrators and you can skip to the good part.
Oh yeah. And of course, sometimes those whaling attacks go after like the highest administration in the company.
Yeah.
For ransomware.
Yeah, I was about to say. Then they often turn, or if they're able to get in, they can turn into ransom.
Yeah.
Easily.
Very, very easily.
Yeah.
Really, it only takes one line of code and a picture.
Yeah. First line of defense users, and then
be smart.
Let's hope your security system doesn't have to kick in, but it's there if it needs to. And let's hope it's doing its job.
Yeah, Windows Defender is not good enough to stop ransomware.
Yeah. It's decent for personal use now, I'd say.
It's decent for personal use. I
But
would
not
recommend
business.
if you're gaming though, don't use it. Use something like Norton or something like that if you're going to be constantly gaming or streaming or whatever. Because all it takes is one corrupted file from a bad actor.
I mean, part of it really, it depends. Windows Defender's also gotten to the point, and it's still being improved upon, but it's gotten to the point where it's just like a lot of antivirus software. It's interesting.
Sorry, just saw it just again.
What they're working on coming out with now, that's kind of up and new and coming is it's more than just antivirus. So antivirus, what it does is it stops known threats.
Yeah.
But now there's some new technology out there that uses AI heavily to predict and stop known and unknown attacks, which is not perfect by any means. Sometimes some good things do get caught, and can be sometimes troublesome to get uncaught. But with what's being done now, you kind of almost need that.
Yeah, because there's just,
especially if you're a business.
There's just too many things that can go wrong.
Yeah. Moving on here. OpenAI. This is a kind of continuing topic.
So OpenAI's leadership debacle. One moment, I'm pulling it up as we speak because.
Yeah. So this is a little bit older news now, but I believe we mentioned it on our last podcast that Sam Altman was ousted.
Yeah.
But he's back with a new board.
He's back, new board. Altman is quickly rallying support from the vast majority of OpenAI staff.
Well, most people threatened to quit.
Yeah.
Including a board member or a higher ranking person. I forget who exactly. Either way, they were a higher ranking position.
I think it was one of the past CEOs that had gone to a development role.
It may have been. Anyway, a lot of people were prepared to, like, you don't get Sam back, we out.
Yeah, he was a very big part of OpenAI.
Yeah, very popular.
He was the visionary that made everything work.
So, in the end, though, I think
him coming back's a good thing.
Coming back's a good thing.
New board's also a good thing.
New board. They have some new vision, some new strategy. Overall, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Time will tell, but like, it's kind of back to back to business as normal without it being normal because there's new stuff happening.
It's back to business as usual.
That's their. Yeah, back to kind of business as usual with a few changes. Do you have anything else on that? I mean, that's just kind of not too much, I don't think, to go along with that.
Oh.
Yes?
Sorry, I just got a advisory for weather.
You continue talking, well, yeah. If you had anything else. Yeah.
With Altman being back,
I saw something similar.
We could see a pretty good return to the status quo for OpenAI.
Yeah.
Continued innovation, which is always good. Cause,
yeah.
We were looking at a very good possibility that there would be no more innovation with OpenAI.
Yeah, that was. I'm sure they would get new people, but it would take some time. I think by then
they would have lost all.
I almost said Microsoft, but it would be Google that would be taking over the spot.
Actually, probably not.
You think Microsoft?
I think Microsoft probably would because
their Copilot AI is not in a good place.
Ow!
Cat get you?
Go! Ow! Claws!
Whew. Yikes.
He sank his claws right into my
Why'd you do that? Do you need some attention?
He wants attention. And I'm not wearing my usual pants that he can claw in and not feel it. I'm wearing jeans instead of khakis. But going back to the topic for a moment, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I did it.
Slightly off, but I'm not. I would butcher it too.
Sought to downplay the tech giant's part in the crisis.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. The Microsoft CEO sought to downplay the tech giant's part in the crisis.
That's insane.
Before Altman was reappointed, that whatever happened with OpenAI, nothing changes. Microsoft's priority was to ensure uninterrupted delivery of AI technology.
Wow.
Whether that meant Altman being hired by Microsoft or his reinstatement to OpenAI. So one of the things that I've been hearing, because I had heard that there was talk that if OpenAI did not take Altman back, Microsoft was going to take him and open their
Yeah,
own AI
that was
development
big.
sector. And the thing is, in that same thing, it was said that if Altman went, pretty much all of the development team for OpenAI was going to go.
Hmm. And Microsoft more than prepared to
Oh yeah, more than prepared to
grab
steal them
some.
from him.
I mean, they say they're working on it a lot. I've yet to see it. I don't believe they released a major update for their Bing Copilot yet.
The funny thing is Bing Copilot is built on ChatGPT 4.
Yeah,
So there's
but
not really much they can change.
That's
because
true.
It's ChatGPT 4 at the base.
I think what they're doing is creating their own, and I think they're going to keep the name Copilot. From what I've seen.
Oh, did you hear about the? I don't know. Is it a topic? One moment. Let me look.
I do not know what you're talking about, though.
Okay. It is not a topic. So, apparently, something that I had heard is that Microsoft was working on heavy AI integration for Windows 12.
Yes, that is a topic.
That is a topic? Well, yeah, Windows 12 and AI. But I mean, like, so all the stuff that they're doing for AI for Windows 12, they're building it for 11.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's already in 11.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, when Microsoft did the press release for the AI stuff, they lied massively.
Did they?
So one of the things that they said was that it could do real-time audio to text
Mm.
and all that fun stuff, and
Yeah.
identify via pictures and video. It was pre-trained.
Hmm.
And the prompts that it was given were typed, not voice.
Mm. Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
Fun stuff.
To be honest, I don't remember for sure if it was Microsoft or Google. I know it was one of them, though.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was Microsoft. Because I remember
think so.
LTT talking about it.
Right. I think it was Microsoft. That sounds right.
It was a tech link that I
Right.
came across. Which is why I was like, oh yeah, I need to mention that because we're talking about it right now.
Right.
But that's it for that.
Yeah. You have anything else for that topic, or?
No, that's it for that.
Okay. I think now is a good time to take our intermission here.
Yes, let us take our intermission. We shall be back in
Momentarily.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And we're back.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'll let you take the next topic.
Yeah, sorry about the long break there.
We kind of got chatting and lost track of time.
Yeah, I have been doing a lot of research into this next topic though, and just looking into it more and more. It's GTA 6. Trailer dropped a couple weeks ago now, or a week ago.
Week ago?
Yeah. Well,
Last weekend.
yeah. Kinda. So, originally supposed to come out on Tuesday, December 6th. The YouTube trailer ended up, and my youngest brother texting me, it's like, "Did you see the new GTA trailer?" Like, no, it comes out tomorrow. It came out like Monday evening, instead of like Tuesday morning on YouTube on the official Rockstar YouTube page. So it was fully legit, but it broke records.
Well, we have been waiting for a new GTA since
Yes.
2013.
Yeah, but it was it broke records. Like, it was the most viewed YouTube video that was not a music video. So it received 8.3 million likes just as of Tuesday afternoon, the day after it came out, and it was seen at nearly 82 million times in that same time frame, and 681,000 comments in one day, in just one day, and it's 90 seconds long. So it broke some records for sure. I'm excited for it.
I saw the trailer, and I'm probably going to be the oddball saying this, but I personally didn't really care for the trailer.
So at first watch, I didn't either. It wasn't until I watched videos of people pointing out things in the trailer is when I really started to like, oh, okay, that's awesome.
Maybe you'll have to send me that video of people pointing shit out so that I can.
Well, it's not just one video. It's like,
Oh, it's a bunch of them.
I watched a bunch of different videos to get different people's points of view, and kind of, it would be nice if there was one kind of all compiled, but there isn't. So the map, it looks like there's gonna be 3 major towns or cities, with the main one being Vice City. So it's going back to Vice City, where they've been before, but on a lot larger scale, and the graphics are a lot better too than what they used to have, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I didn't think the graphics were that much greater than 5.
It's photorealistic.
But the more I compared, the more it's like, which one's real, which one's 6? And after comparing, you can easily tell 5 is not good graphics. Instantly, after I was done kind of doing some comparison, it was instantly like, this is trash graphics for 5. It was that noticeable. Like the hair, like, you can see individual hairs. It's kind of just like a flat kind of cap on 5. But you can see individual hairs. In the trailer, it looks like you might be able to open trunks of vehicles.
Stuff people in trunks.
Yes, maybe stuff people in trunks or bags or whatever. So, which, I mean, that's cool, but if you can do that, what else can you do, kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. Does that mean that every building is going to have an interior?
Yeah, I don't know about every building, but I think there's going to be a lot more interiors than in 5.
5 has barely any.
Right. It barely has any.
And the ones that it does have are underground.
Right. And then there's a lot of like mission ones that you go in, and you can explore the entire building, but once that mission's over, you can't go back into them, which is a problem. I think in 6 that hopefully you can.
I hope in 6 they do like so Skyrim. I know a little off topic.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim has an old mod that I really love playing with. It's called Open Skyrim. Literally, what it does is every city that has a gate that you would walk up to, you know how when you activate the gate, it teleports you in?
Yeah.
And you have a loading menu? It doesn't teleport you. The gates actually swing open. And you can walk in, and there's no loading screens, nothing.
Yeah.
The entire settlement is enterable without a freaking loading screen.
And that's been one of the probably biggest rumors for 6. I almost said 5. Is the loading screens. It's likely that there's going to be little to no loading screens, except for maybe like entering the game itself.
Yeah, and that loading screen hopefully will be. If it takes forever, hopefully it's because it's loading everything.
Yeah. And then
not a GTA 5.
Maybe they'll do like some sort of part procedural loading where it's not loaded until it's loading as you moving, kind of thing, which has been done. And
5 has that, even though you could 5 can pretty much render the entire map.
Right.
No issues. But they do the procedural loading for consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept it in the PC release.
Right.
And it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't load crap.
Yeah. I'm thinking they'll probably do something like that, but they've been working on it for 13 years, so hope is that it's going to be a lot better. It's releasing for PlayStation 5 and Xbox S/X first. So just the regular Xbox and then PlayStation 4. And according to what we've seen, even the 4 Pro, not eligible.
Yeah, because hardware requirements.
Yeah. Which the 4 Pro was pretty powerful, so I'm kind of a little surprised on that one.
Well, so there is a difference. So going from the 4 to the 5.
I know there's a difference, but like
the 4 doesn't use APU.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, an APU.
Mm-hmm.
So the 5 uses AMD something or another.
Yeah.
But it's an APU, and oh my god, it's powerful.
Right.
Literally, you could probably play Windows games on it with no issues.
Well, that kind of brings me like, I'm surprised it's for the Xbox S though.
Most all Xboxes have had desktop chips in them for.
But that's a good point. Yeah.
Which, given that it's coming out for Xbox and PlayStation, there's a very good chance that we might be able to get it on PC come the Xbox launch because of Xbox.
Yeah.
The Xbox app.
It's possible. It's very hard to say, given the track record. But it's a high possibility with what Microsoft has done with Xbox now.
Yeah. Basically, one thing I have noticed, there's Xbox exclusive games on there now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on PC, yeah.
That were never released for PC.
Yeah. No, you can play Xbox exclusives, even like original Xbox games. I think there's even non-exclusives on there too.
I didn't expect that to get warm.
Oh, does it?
That gets warm.
Oh, wow. That's putting off some decent heat. Wow.
I drink that, I was like, wait, that's warm. What?
it's gonna be interesting
Oh yeah.
just to like kind of see what what's all done. I'm excited for the second trailer.
Oh yeah.
It says
Hopefully-
20.
Hopefully, the second trailer is more actual
Mhm.
gameplay.
Yeah, I like to see that, but they usually try to um, spoof it up some. But someone compared something with the GTA 5 trailer and versus the GTA 5 game of one of the at the beginning with Michael sitting on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot better in the game than the trailer.
Yeah, because
For the
the
first
trailer
trailer.
is unfinished.
Yeah. So if the trailer looks this good so far, what is it going to look like in the game?
The thing I worry about, and this is something that a lot of game companies have been doing since forever now,
Mm-hmm.
like 2017
Yeah.
ish, they have been going and creating these entire scenes and stuff in animation software such as Blender and passing those as game trailers
Mm-hmm.
when the game's nowhere even close to that.
Yeah. We'll see what we'll see. Because it definitely looked like there were definitely some scenes that looked like it could be from the actual game. In the beginning,
a lot
just
of it looked rendered. To
yeah.
me, which
Yes.
is what I didn't really care for.
I think there's an aspect that was rendered, but it looked like it could be actual game scene. It looked very very similar to what they did with the first GTA 5 trailer to me, which also at the time looked rendered. I think so.
I didn't think it was rendered at the time.
I don't know. Maybe it's yeah. I don't know. To me, it did. I thought.
I think it just depends.
Yeah. It probably just depends.
Depends on the person, what you view it on.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it depends on what you view it on. But it would be interesting to see the second trailer and then when it finally releases too. 2025 is what they said. They did not say beginning of 25, end of 25. Sometimes they count games as a 2025 game when it's released in 24. So we could get it as early as next year.
We could get it as early as
It
next year.
could
but
be-
it's Rockstar.
Yeah, it's Rockstar. If I had to guess, they're going to count it as 25 at the end of 25. Anywhere from that September to end of November time frame is what I would have to guess. Probably
Honestly,
later.
with it being Rockstar, it wouldn't surprise me if it was between September and Christmas.
Right. I think they're going to release it as late to Christmas as possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's slightly before Black Friday.
So that it can be for sale come Black Friday and,
Hmm.
and stockings and whatnot.
Yeah. Like, hey, this is out. I know someone who wants this. Get it at a discounted price, but even when you sell something at a discounted price, if you sell 10 more at a discounted price versus just one at a regular price, you're making a lot more profit.
And of course, that's assuming that it gets discounted at all.
Yeah, it may
That,
not.
Have you seen some of the viral videos that have been going around of people going through stores on Black Friday?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Where they pull a thing aside, it says Black Friday deal, $149.99. They pull the sign out, it says special deal, $149.99.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how accurate some of those are. Because I used to work at Walmart. You
So
did
did
too.
I know very well how they work, but
Well, there were actual items actually discounted, but they
not everything actually was.
not everything actually was. Yeah.
Like some of the TVs were actually discounted,
Yeah.
but not all of them were.
Right. I know. I bought a new 75-inch TV on Black Friday. I bought it for under $700, and
I bought.
yeah, there's
my
no way it
parents-
was.
I bought my parents' TV for Christmas one year,
Hmm.
and I think it was marked at its regular price.
Yeah.
It was so I'm gonna actually say what the TV is because it's several years old now and doesn't really have much of a value anymore. It's a TCL Roku TV,
Mm-hmm.
4K TV. If I remember correctly, its regular sales price was $398 and change.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember buying it from my parents for Christmas, and it was still. And here's the funny thing: the thing even said Black Friday deal,
Yeah.
$398.
So I guess the question is, how long has this been going on?
Probably forever.
Yeah, but I know the TV I got is not normally.
$700.
It's an LG one.
Oh yeah, it's the LG 75. It's the one that was like $1,200 regular retail, right?
No, it was like 9 or 10 or
9 or 10.
900 1,000. Yeah.
Okay, so it was the it wasn't the QLED. It was the just
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah. Just the regular one. Yeah, the QLED. I wanted it sooner, and looking back, I probably should have.
Gone with the quantum dot.
Yeah, and just waited. I didn't though. I was impatient. The regular LED I could pick up that same day. QLED I had to wait like a week and a half for it to ship.
That's normal though.
It is.
QLED was really new then.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had been out less than 6 months come Black Friday.
Right. Well, I was also this was just this past Black Friday is when I got the new TV. So, but I went from a 65-inch curved to a 75-inch. So
You gained 10 inches.
yeah.
That could be taken so many ways.
I think it makes a difference though. With viewing, it was also curved before. Now it's flat.
Yeah.
Curved had its time.
One of those things that I don't like about curved TVs is that it reduces the viewing angle.
It does. It was nice at the time, but I've gone back to the flat TVs.
The traditional flat TV.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still debating. I have two curved monitors for my computer. And I'm still debating if I should go back to the flat panel for those.
Well, here's a question: do you want to switch for a week?
I have monitors that I use as flat, and I use flat at work. That's my problem. I can't decide.
Okay, so here's a bigger question. Your current curved monitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they're regular old 1080p.
One's 1440.
One's 1440. Okay, so I guess the question is, do you want to go to 4K?
I'm going to upgrade to 4K. That I know.
Why do you think I'm asking you? Do you want to switch for a week? both of my monitors are 4K. They're not the Ultra HD, unfortunately. So they don't have the really nice darks.
I'm going to the Ultra HD 4K when I upgrade.
But two 4K screens that are 27 inches each.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to see if you want to go that
Got
route.
32 now.
Yeah, they're a little smaller, but
yeah. No, I'm good. It's. I also don't know if I.
experience the curve, though.
I also don't know if I know where the stands are for them because I have them mounted.
I have.
Oh.
The mounts are right there.
Oh, I didn't see.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I don't know if they're tall enough for a
Right.
32 inch.
Yeah, we should move on though.
Yes.
GTA 6 is.
Amazing.
I could probably talk about that all day.
Oh yeah.
Beeper Mini. So
Wait, which one are we doing?
the beeper. The
Verge article?
they
or the
they
website?
they go together.
Okay, well I guess
Yeah.
I'll start with the Verge article.
Yeah, if you want to go on Verge, I have the Beeper Mini site pulled up. Um, so, have you heard about Beeper?
No, I have not.
So it's another it's an app that is now set to replace I forget the other program thing for sending text messages to from Android to iPhone and getting
Oh, is this using the same service?
no. So it's not using the same service. What Beeper has done, or Beeper Mini, or just Beeper, has done is they've reverse engineered.
It's not going to be long till it shut down.
I'm sorry?
It's not going to be long till they're shut down.
Apple's tried already,
Oh, I know.
and they released patches. So initially, you did not need a Apple ID to use it. Now you do have to have an Apple ID set up, which makes it even tougher for Apple to shut it down because it's usually a legit Apple ID, and it's unlike previous versions of similar things, it is actually end-to-end encrypted, and it's fully secure. So Beeper sees nothing. It's simply the service that is it's using. So on iPhones, it looks just like it was sent from an iPhone because it technically is. It's sent from your iMessage from your Android phone. And then Apple's blocking some iMessages, and there's kind of a back and forth right now because Apple's trying to like block it out. Beeper's coming out with something else because they've fully reviewed it from back end to front, and has completely reverse engineered it. So it's kind of tough for Apple to fully block it. But it's interesting because like with Apple being able to receive RCS or getting to that point, like they're trying so hard for this.
The one that we were talking at the last podcast,
Sunbird, yeah.
The Sunbird security issue.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't truly encrypted.
Yeah. So Beeper is truly encrypted.
I had to look back at previous show notes.
Yeah. And I'm partly curious. I might I have an iPhone and I have an Android, so I might.
Which, speaking of, I think I have your iPhone because that's what pulled over onto mine. I think I have the wrong phone number.
I think you called me on there and text me on my Samsung.
What?
My dad does the same thing.
I only have one number though. What?
We were texting on my Samsung.
Like,
yeah, that's on my.
You should have been able to see the.
That's on my Samsung.
You put a question mark after I sent an emoji though.
Okay, so that's weird. It glitched up. It came through as 2 question marks, and then later it sent as thumbs up. Does it show that? No, it shows you.
I typed it.
Oh, you typed it.
Because apparently selecting the emoji in the emoji menu doesn't work. Apparently.
Yeah, so here's what I got.
Here's what I said. Yeah, no, it never showed up as an emoji.
That's weird. Well,
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens with Beeper. That's interesting.
Hopefully they do all right, and Apple doesn't succeed in killing them.
You want to take a live on-air question?
Sure.
What is better, Acer or Dell?
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here. It depends.
It really does.
It depends on what budget range you're in
Right.
for either or.
Yeah, I'd say Dell is probably better for hire.
Not necessarily.
You don't think so?
I think Dell's actually better for the lower end laptops because with the Acer laptops, the lower the tiers get, they go from being regular laptops.
There is a big
to
jump,
notebooks.
isn't there? Yeah, that's a good point.
And the notebooks / netbooks, if you remember, we had the netbooks in school.
Were they Asus?
Yeah. You remember how
Yeah.
crappy those were?
Yeah,
They
Dell.
were Intel Atoms. They sucked.
Yeah. Acer good for.
Their high-end laptops are
Yeah.
amazing, but their low-tier ones absolutely freaking suck.
Mm-hmm.
Dell, their higher-end ones are okay, especially when you get into their like gaming ones.
Yeah, I'd
Those
say
are Alienware.
yeah.
They're not actually Dell.
I think they don't. They still have a Dell gaming line though. Yeah.
It sucks.
Is it? No, HP's Omen. Yeah.
HP's Omen. Dell has their own gaming thing,
Yeah.
other than
Alienware. Yeah.
The Dell gaming line don't typically go above like i5s or Ryzen 5s.
Right.
Where the Alienwares tend to get like i5
Mm-hmm.
to i9s.
Yeah.
Or Ryzen 5 to Ryzen 9. There's even the mythological Threadripper laptop, which
Yeah.
apparently exists.
Really?
Yeah, apparently one exists.
Do you think it actually exists, or is it just a rumor?
I think it actually exists.
You think it does?
I think it's a prototype.
That'd be interesting. I can kind of see that though.
I just realized I'm out of water. Oh well.
Anyway, that honor question was brought to you by my sister.
Oh, thank you for the question.
Just texted me out of the blue 10 minutes ago. Anyway, we can move on to the next topic here.
Yes, next topic. Windows 12 and AI.
Oh yeah.
An interesting topic. I can't wait for Windows 12. I want to see how
Yeah,
much of a train
it's.
wreck it
I'm typically an early adopter when it comes to new operating systems.
is. Typically in the insider program.
Yeah. With Mac, I typically upgrade as soon as I can for anything that comes out. Same thing with iOS, same thing with Android, and same thing with Windows. I upgraded my laptop and my desktop. Actually, this laptop that I'm using, didn't have my gaming laptop yet.
Everything I have
Oh,
is 11 now.
Yeah,
I finally made the switch
Mhm.
over to the 10 because I kept having
yeah,
crashing issues.
yeah. I upgraded as soon as I could to 11. Yeah, on my desktop, I don't know if you remember this, but we played some games and I was having some issues with blue screening. You remember that? It kept crashing. I knew how to fix it, but I just didn't. That was my.
I've been having issues where games will just randomly lag and crash.
Mm,
I finally figured out what the issue was.
yeah.
Apparently, there's a incompatibility with the Ryzen Master
Mm,
overclocking software in Windows 11.
Well, I was talking about Windows 10 upgrading.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I upgraded and it fixed the blue screening
I didn't
issues.
have that issue with
Yeah.
and that was an upgrade from 10 to 11.
And then you
So,
had issues? I had far less issues with going to 11.
It
But-
doesn't help that I'm an avid overclocker.
Hmm I typically just buy the highest speeds.
Well,
And then
so
I don't
did buy the highest
do
speed for
overclock.
Ryzen 7.
I bought Ryzen 9 though.
Yeah. Well, the Ryzen 9 is not as friendly to overclocking as the 7 is.
That's true.
My Ryzen 7 when it was running Windows 10, I have the 3800X by the way. It's unlocked and overclockable. I think I got it. So its base clock is 3.8 to 4.8 gigahertz. I got it to 5.7 before it became unstable.
You said 5.7?
5.7 gigahertz.
That's kind of a lot, actually.
Why do you think it's water cooled now?
Fair.
I had to water cool it to keep the damn thing cool.
Yeah, I want to say my Ryzen 9 does like 5 gigs out of the box. 5 gigahertz out of the box. So,
Yeah. Which version of the Ryzen 9 is it?
7900
Oh, so it's
X.
7900X. It's not even the fast one.
The 7950 is only slightly more.
It's slightly more, but it also has more cores.
Did it?
I think. Do I have it backwards?
I think they have the same amount of cores. We are looking this up, and we'll be back with
And
you.
then there's also the X3D.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that because it limits speed and voltage.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't get that.
Yeah, more cores. So the Ryzen 9 7900X is only 12 core with 24 threads. The 7950X is 16 cores.
Okay.
And its base clock is 4.5 for the 7950. The base clock for the 7900 is 4.7. Boost clock for the 7950 is 5.7. The 7900 is only 5.6. Combined cache, same order. So 7950 is going to be first, 7900 is second. 80 megabytes versus 76 megabytes of combined cache. TDP, 107 watts each. So they're the same in that regard.
Yeah. And then I did not realize they had integrated graphics.
Yep.
I did not realize that.
Yep.
I don't know why. Because
it's for troubleshooting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean when you get to that point, you better have a dedicated graphics card though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
it's not designed for using the integrated for anything beyond
Right.
troubleshooting.
I upgraded to a 4080 and the 7900X earlier this year, and
Are you thinking about going to the 7950 now because it's
no,
got 4 cores?
I couldn't remember immediately, but the reason I did what I did then was because of the price point. Just
Oh yeah, the
I
price
couldn't-
is ridiculous between the two.
yes, and it wasn't necessarily an issue with spending more money. It was more of I'm not going to use even the 7900 to the full extent of what I can do.
Not yet.
Maybe GTA 6 I will. We'll see.
We'll see. If my desktop can't handle it and it's curtain big with 11, I might actually downgrade to 10
Yeah.
with a different drive, so that I can push my clock back up to 5.7.
Yeah.
Just to see if it'll run it at the oh my god speed.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, it almost kind of looks like you need a 20 series graphics card minimum.
Yeah, it's a good thing I have.
And
I have Zen 3 CPU and 3000 series.
Yeah.
GPU.
Yeah. I don't know what they were estimating for the Intel specs, but the AMD and NVIDIA specs were minimum 20 series GPU, and then minimum on the processor side, Ryzen third gen,
Oh, so. Wait,
but like high third gen.
So like minimum 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine then that the Intels would probably be minimum Gen Intel
Yeah.
with being...
I can see maybe you're being 11th.
Nope, down.
Kitty came to say hi.
No, what the fuck did he do?
What happened on your computer?
I don't know.
Hit some keys.
I don't
Oh
know
my!
what's
Is that like zoomed in or something?
happening. I don't know.
What did you do?
What the fuck, cat? He
Anyway,
opened something. I don't know what.
back to Windows 12. Windows 11 just came out. It feels.
I can't believe Windows 11 is 2 years old.
I know. It feels like I was kind of upgrading yesterday.
I still have issues from my original upgrade, so
Yeah.
honestly, thinking
I don't.
about it, I might be at the point where I need to do a fresh install.
Yeah. That's our
And that really
responsibility.
sucks because that means I'm going to have to re-download everything.
Do you have everything saved to your main drive?
Not everything.
I have nothing saved to my main.
So,
Besides items on my desktop that I currently actively use, I have nothing on my main drive. Everything else is on other drives.
all of my project files and stuff like that are on
Mhm.
separate drives. But for some reason, a lot of stuff defaults to my main drive, even though I tell it to save to a different drive.
Mm.
And then there's also the whole thing of I'm going to have to reinstall my Adobe software, and
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that. Because, well, it's really hard to find downloads that still work
Yeah.
for the buy once and have it forever software.
Oh, you have the old. Yeah.
I have Substance, Painter, which is,
Mm.
I want to say it's like 2015.
Yeah.
So the last iteration before they went to the subscription model, which really sucks because I hate the subscription model so much. Are you texting?
Just my sister. I'm listening though.
Okay. My Adobe Audition is 2015 as well. Last year before subscription for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is because Audition is a professional software, like the license when I first bought it was like $1,000.
That's crazy.
The subscription is like $250 a month,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
So, in a few months.
I'm thinking
For
what I'm
months
gonna
you
try
have.
to do, if I can get it to work, I'm gonna see if I can copy my Adobe files to elsewhere on my system,
Maybe, yeah.
and hopefully not break crap in the process.
Right.
Because honestly, if it comes down to it and I have to reinstall it and jump through all the hoops again to re-get executables for everything, I may not reinstall it.
Yeah.
I just had an idea. I may try to reclone my SSD to another SSD.
Yeah, that might work.
I'll have to see if I can't find
Yeah.
a 1 terabyte
Right.
that I can just plug into a SATA port.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do not feel like doing another M.2 and throwing
Yeah.
that 1 terabyte M.2 in there, because the next open slot I have is on the back of the motherboard.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to that because pain.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Windows 12.
So potentially he's only 24. He's when it could be released.
Honestly,
That's.
I'm gonna have to look at the Insider program
Mhm.
and see if 12 is already in Insider.
I don't believe it's an insider yet. But it looks like, and it's been a minute since I've checked it, but it looks like the updates are heading that way. That they're doing to 11 right now. It looks like the updates are heading that way, but I don't believe it's there yet. I'd be interested to see how much they change, given that 11 had some big changes. I'd like to see some more customization with the taskbar, which they did with 11. They could do some neat stuff there, just different customization features. But we'll have to wait to see it for sure. Yeah, and
I'm looking at Insider right
Yeah.
now to see.
and it looks like so Microsoft went down the route of initially they said Windows 10 is the last Windows version you ever need, and
Now they're going back to the rolling 3-year cycle.
yeah, rolling 3-year cycle, but it looks like they're going to keep the free upgrades,
Which would be nice.
which would be nice. Of course, if you're building a new system, you still have to purchase it and everything.
Unless you install the original version, upgrade to 11, then upgrade to 12.
Right. I mean, if you have a
Which I'm looking at it
Yeah.
right now. So Windows Insider does not have 12 listed at all,
okay.
and their community page, I'm waiting on it to load.
Mm-hmm. But it will likely be free if you already have an existing copy of Windows. It will probably feature the same restrictions to upgrade as 11 does. So if you have 10 and not upgrade or not able to upgrade to 11, you likely still would not be able to upgrade to 12. It will probably have the same security restrictions as far as that goes. So don't bother waiting if you need a new computer. You're not going to be able to get 12 just through an upgrade. And then it would probably be kind of the same thing as 10's on now. So, like, it's going out in 25. 11 will probably be phased out in a few years after 12. So on and so forth. Are you seeing anything there?
Okay, so I'm looking at it. (23H2) for Windows 11. That was in September. I just saw a message about it. So
Yeah.
their thing, there's no actual like Microsoft employees chatting, I don't think.
Yeah, I doubt you'd see any of that.
I'm just looking to see if anyone mentioned, because I'm just now getting into newer messages.
Yeah, so it looks like there might be a few design changes. One of the leaks looks kind of like if you kind of like if you've seen a Mac where it has some items at the top. So it's hard to say if this it's from a keynote, but it's hard to say if they're going to keep it like that or if it was a test or whatnot. So like you got some items at the top, like the date, time, if you're on a laptop, battery life, Wi-Fi connection, stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
And then the taskbar might be floating, from what we can tell. Again, it could be it may be something that you can set like that, or have it as it is currently. Customize some. We don't
So-
know for sure though.
I did find something.
Okay.
The beta version, this is speculation,
Hmm.
will most likely be released around spring of next year.
Okay.
So, Insider probably isn't too far away then.
Yeah, I know that sounds like it's come up pretty quickly.
Especially since it's December.
Yeah.
3 months and then it'll be spring.
Oh well, actually, yeah. You say it like that.
So we could see it as early as March, April.
Mhm. Yeah. And then I guess I have one other thing, or two other things, I guess. Is supposedly there's going to be faster updates with it.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, so updates currently can take a minute. But
Updates are
They-
so annoying because they release them literally every day.
yeah, they might be working on faster updates. Part of that, though, is the AI features they may be adding.
Hopefully, the AI features that are added don't.
Overload the system with, like, AI,
Yeah.
where you can still use it like regular.
One of the things that I hope is that there's a way to disable it.
Yeah. I think that's key. Being able to disable it, and then just a lot of customization, I think, is key. I know they added like the right click on the taskbar to take you to Task Manager. They added that after 11 released, and
So-
I love that.
Actually, here's a funny thing.
Hmm.
Probably didn't know this. You could do that on 7 too.
No, I've
And
been doing it. I've done it since like
And
7, but they took it away initially on 11.
really,
It was not initially a thing you could do. The only option was taskbar settings, but in an update they added it back.
I didn't know they took it away
Mhm.
because I never used that
Yeah.
option.
Initially, it was not part of 11.
Typically, one of the ones that I was really disappointed, they actually took away a shortcut.
Yeah.
They gave it back,
Oh,
probably
okay.
around the same time. They
Which
gave back,
one?
The right click on taskbar.
Hmm.
So one of the ways that you can lock your computer without having to do Control Delete to lock
Hmm.
is the Windows key and L.
Yeah. Did that not work?
It did not work for a little bit on
Mm.
11.
So I use a Mac for work. So I lock that one, but my home computer I like never lock unless if I'm gonna away for a while, I'll put it to like sleep. But I never actually lock it.
So because I currently work in the healthcare field,
Hmm.
anytime we're up away from our desks, we have to lock our
But
computer.
Yeah, you
And we
use
use
Windows.
systems.
Yeah, we use a mix of Mac and Windows, but I have a Windows at work, and like I locked that one, but there's just a power button on the keyboard that will lock it. It's a bit easier than hitting key combo.
Yeah, my power button's right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, mine's in like where your delete button is. Yeah, let's not touch that one. Anyway, moving on
Yes.
to the next topic here.
AI regulations, first ever.
Yeah, so the
Euronews.
EU is they're
They're hitting hard.
yeah, they are this has been in the work for a while,
I know. It's
But-
been since January.
something like that. But it looks like next year the first actual regulations may take effect, and we don't really know what that looks like. Like really at all. Because like a lot of it has to do with ethics and stuff. If I had to guess, job protection.
Probably. Which that makes sense
but-
because the EU is very regulatory when
Mhm.
it comes to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot more so than the U.S.
Right.
They actually care about their workers, unlike the
Yeah.
U.S.
But like with that, like it's hard to, in my opinion, it's hard to regulate it because it changes pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that new technology that's out now that
It's
just kind of like when
AI,
home use computers came out. There was that something new
oh,
pretty
yeah.
much every day.
And they
and-
fear that computers are going to take away jobs.
Yeah, they added to them. I think
What was that clicking?
sorry, that was my pen.
I heard it from over there. And I was like, what the hell is clicking? Better not be the computer.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see. I got some arrows on my. There we go. I had some arrows here, and they are not going away.
It's the
Oh, it's
changing stories.
oh
It's one of the
There we
things
go.
that Euronews has, and it's really cool.
yeah. I don't know if I like that. I thought it was on my computer first,
Nope.
and I thought I had that turned off.
So one of the nice things is that the EU is doing something about the proliferation of AI,
Mhm.
which is amazing because
Mhm.
it's very possible that the United States and Canada might actually follow suit.
I'd be surprised if they don't, honestly.
Because right now we're looking at a possible job crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's cheaper, is what it comes down to. It's cheaper for companies to
Replace manpower
Mhm.
with electricity.
It's cheaper for companies to fork up a lot of money to another company, to have that company create a specific AI service for them that they can then implement and then use. It's cheaper than that than paying in the long run for the 100,000 employees you're going to lose because AI has replaced the job. So it's kind of one of those things like we'll have to see what happens really with
Only
the
time will tell.
EU. Yeah, only time will tell. It's definitely going to replace some jobs. I don't know though if it's going to be as significant as it's being made out to be.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
One of those things that I was going to say, and I still am, AI is just starting to hit the start of Moore's Law.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to continue to double in capabilities.
Yeah.
And at this moment, it's at the snowball point.
I mean, I saw something that they're already saying that it's starting to be able to like replicate itself.
We don't need a Skynet situation.
Which kind of makes sense because, like, if you use ChatGPT at all, it can write code, and that's all AI is code.
The nice thing is that it's not a true AI.
It's not. It really isn't.
So it can never become self-aware.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Without an external force, I don't think it ever will be able to. But it's still kind of one of those things that it may not be able to become self-aware, but it still has a kind of quote-unquote knowledge base. And if it's able to replicate, right now ChatGPT is kind of locked out from Google, but what if it's able to copy itself and then use Google, and it can search through all 83 billion results of a search in a matter of nanoseconds,
Yeah.
and then use that to... A lot of it depends if there's a bad actor behind it too. If a bad actor gets behind something like that,
yeah, we're gonna have problems.
you're going to have problems because searching through that many results in that fast of time, and then it condensing that all down into here's a simple answer for you, or here's whatever. Yeah, could lead to issues. Then unless you have anything else about that,
Nope.
because that's going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be a.
And this next one I think is exciting. So, Google,
Gemini. Yeah.
yeah. So currently they have Bard, which is built off of ChatGPT. But they're launching a new ChatGPT rival, AI model rival, named Gemini.
Apparently, it's also using like as up to date information as they can get.
Yeah, which makes sense because Google is Google.
They have
They have
hundreds of thousands of.
they have the most up to date stuff typically.
Yeah.
So what's scary is that it's said to behave like humans.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to use the Turing test on it.
Yeah. So we talked previously about earlier in the podcast. Excuse me, about how the comparison between AI writing a phishing email versus humans. Well, if this can behave like humans, who's to say it can't also then make it like a human, give it that human factor, but still then be able to send out 100 million opposed to one at a time?
There's nothing to stop it.
Yeah. Obviously, Google put blocks and placeholders, stuff in place, but it's only a matter of time until bad actors get something basically identical or very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time. I think it's cool that there's kind of a rival against OpenAI, but with the rivals, it always with competition, it always increases the amount each company's improving.
Mm-hmm.
And with AI, that can be scary. Improving
like,
so much that you're going to lose even more jobs if it's human-like.
How? It's like one of those that you have to ask. How long until OpenAI or Google go over the line
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
make an AI that is indistinguishable from a human?
It's kind of that, yeah, it's that thin line. How long till someone crosses that thin line? And it doesn't even have to be the company as a whole.
It has to be one person.
It has to be one person at that company. And they're both huge companies.
Mm-hmm.
How long till one person crosses the line at that company? It could be even just getting your data that you use with it.
Mm-hmm.
And or just using the back end software to do some bad acts. How long is the question?
Another question that you have to ask there. How long until someone in Google or OpenAI flip the sentience switch?
Yeah.
And
the
then
attack.
We have an issue of, holy fuck, we have a fully sentient AI that we cannot stop.
Yeah.
What'll happen then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only partly believe with that, but it's still a possibility.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Now,
I don't think AI would be. At that point, it doesn't become AI anymore, though. It's not artificial.
As soon as it starts improving itself and thinking for itself.
At that point, I'd say it's even something completely different.
It goes from being an AI to being a singularity.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a huge issue because mankind just birthed something that it cannot control.
Yeah. It's out of the realm of what we can do.
The nice thing is, though, is that our technology, like our level of technology, so laptops, stuff like that, aren't at the point where you can take the hardware of a laptop, throw it into a giant robot, and the robot.
Right. Yeah, it's nothing like that.
So we don't even have batteries powerful enough to run a car for
8 hours.
thousands of miles.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we don't have anything to worry about yet.
It's a scary work in progress, though.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully batteries in cars just improve eventually, but
I want batteries in cars to improve, but I do not want killer robots.
yeah. And I think we'll leave it off there unless you have anything else.
Nope. I have nothing else.
Well, I want to thank you if you've tuned into this podcast. Thank you very much for watching it.
Thank you.
A lot of topics we went over today. What was it, like 11, 12?
All but our last topic.
Last topic.
Google moves to end geofence warrants and the surveillance problem it
I missed that one.
largely
I missed that
created.
one. Yeah.
We don't need to worry about that topic because there's actually about to be a lot more on that. So it'll be better if we hold off.
So we'll wait till there's some more news on that one. But the gist of it is that they could be looking at giving users more control over their own data, which would be nice. My only concern is it's Google. They kind of the whole thing is data.
Well, so the weird thing is that the whole topic's about Google's trying to end the government sending them warrants for data.
Yeah. It's very much a kind of compared to Apple kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those that everybody's carrying a tracking device, whether you want it to be or not.
Right.
Even so, Google even wanting to end the whole geofence warrants and all that. It doesn't matter if they enable or disable it in their settings because it doesn't stop the government from backdoor enabling it anyway.
Yeah. There would have to be a lot of...
There would be a lot of bureaucracy with that.
There would have to be a lot of disables. So it would both have to be from like the carrier, would have to be on board, as well as Google, as well as basically every app. So there'll be more to see on that. But until next time.
Yes, until next time.
I'm Tim.
There's the camera.
You pointed the monitor.
I did.
Until next time.
Until next time, everybody.
I'm Tim.
I'm Shelby.
Have a good night.
And a Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Because we will not be streaming for the holidays.
Yes.
So,
enjoy your tech. See ya.